Hello folks, it's me, earthmanbrick. Finally back to some good old-fashioned sculpting. This week, we're making a night haunt creature from Games Workshop's Age of Sigmar, the Mourngul. The GW model lacks box art as it's another exclusive resin piece from the Forge World store. It retails for about 43 quid, which is a bit out of my price range, that's for sure. It's arguably worth the price of admission when you look at that beautiful detail. It's spectacular. The first thing I do before crafting any model is to look at what size of base they need to be on, especially since people are sticklers for the rules and such when it comes to Warhammer games. My first go-to is typically the official GW game store, but it doesn't always label the specifics. So, my next resource, which is arguably better, is Warhampedia. It's an independent website that brilliantly compiles all the Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team and Age of Sigmar units and details, including all of the rules. It's well worth a browse as it's kept up to date and amalgamates all the factions, old and new. I highly recommend it as a gaming resource, especially since it's free and very easy to navigate. It's much better than the app that GW come out with, that's for sure. But back to our project. So, like all sculpts, we take some wire and make an armature, drilling and pinning it into the base. This week I've decided to make use of the temple bases we've made previously, of which there'll be a link in the description below. Make sure you click it! And of course I might be using these bases again on other Night Haunt builds. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, taking some pre-made shards to act as the claws, a hand is assembled to reinforce the foundation. Otherwise it'd be a bit weak and wibbly-wobbly, and we don't want that. So we take these shards and we mold them together using a two-part epoxy. One of my personal favorites, milliput. Now, typically between each layer of dried milliput or cured epoxy, I like to paint the area. This helps to differentiate between what has and hasn't already hardened, as it can be quite difficult to tell sometimes. Not only for that reason though, it also makes the entire painting process easier too, since certain areas can be difficult to reach much later on. To bulk out certain areas, I use hot glue on some card to keep the model lighter and save on using quite as much milliput. Not because it's incredibly expensive material or anything like that, but rather to save time too, since hot cure? What? Since hot glue cures much faster. There we go. Use your words. You can do it. You could also use tinfoil to bulk out your projects, but it's up to you to figure out what method works best for your build, and plan ahead. To give our creature a more ghostly appearance, I've added some cloth from some old socks. That's right, nothing truly goes to waste in this household. Frugal as fluff. Lastly, I added another bit of card to mount the head onto. Nothing too fancy here, I've just sculpted a basic kind of skull shape. Then an elongated mouth to match the original model. To be honest though, I can see why people have made the comparison already to Tim Burton's aesthetic. It's rather cartoonish looking, but I don't think that's a bad thing, to be honest. It's not quite grimdark, but not everything needs to be. And now the painting. Very simple color scheme here, black and white. That's right, only two colors. All done using only oil paints. Pretty easy to get a good gradation only using oil paints, as you're more or less pushing and smoothing out the paint. James Wappel has been painting miniatures using this method for decades, and is quite the expert on it. You should follow him on YouTube and Twitch, as he can easily paint a miniature to a professional standard in a mere couple of hours. And if there's any miniatures you'd like to see me sculpt in future, let me know in the comment section below, as I could certainly do with more practice. Time now for me to say thank you, and I hope that you found the video not to be too torturous, as real suffering costs extra and takes commitment. just like marriage. Wait! Are you still here? Get out! I've got the next video to make. Go away now! Bye!